Aside from antigens, ingredient components of a vaccine include adjuvants, added to enhance the immune system response, antibiotics, to prevent contamination during the manufacturing process, and preservatives and stabilizers. These additional ingredients are often a source of concern for wary parents and patients. Below is a list of common ingredients in many vaccines, along with information on their purpose and safety. Thimerosal, ethyl mercury. Why is it used? This mercury-containing ingredient has been used as a preservative in vaccines since the 1930s. Today, it is only found in vaccines for influenza. Preservatives are necessary for preventing dangerous bacterial or fungal contamination, but thimerosal has since become a major source of vaccine safety concerns. Health concerns. While mercury is a naturally occurring element found in soil, water, and food, large amounts of it can be harmful, especially for children. Back in 1997, children were receiving 3 vaccines that together contained more mercury than the EPA recommended limit, though not more than the FDA limit. This led to speculation that thimerosal in vaccines could be linked to autism or other conditions. Is it safe? Years of research have reduced concerns here. The type of mercury found in thimerosal, ethyl mercury, differs from methyl mercury, the type commonly found in fish and known to be harmful in large amounts. Ethyl mercury is broken down and excreted from the body much more quickly than methyl mercury, and no scientific study has found a link between ethyl mercury and autism or any other harmful effects. Amount in vaccines. Nonetheless, several public health agencies and vaccine manufacturers agreed in 1999 to cease using thimerosal as a precautionary measure. Today, no vaccine contains thimerosal except the influenza vaccine, and thimerosal-free alternatives are available. Formaldehyde. Why is it used? Formaldehyde has been used for decades in vaccines to inactivate viruses and detoxify bacterial toxins, ensuring they don't result in sickness when injected. Health concerns. The U.S. EPA classifies formaldehyde as a carcinogen, as does the International Agency for Cancer Research and the National Toxicology Program. Additionally, several studies have since linked strong, long-term formaldehyde exposure to certain types of cancer. Is it safe? The potential for harm depends on the amount. Formaldehyde is always present in the human body as part of our natural metabolic process, but long-term exposure to high amounts can overwhelm our system and be harmful. Fortunately, the amount of formaldehyde found in vaccines is very small, most of it being diluted down to residual amounts during the manufacturing process. In fact, the FDA reports there is 50 to 70 times more formaldehyde present in an average newborn's body than in a single dose of vaccine. In brief, current science shows formaldehyde in vaccines to be harmless. Amount in vaccines. The highest amount of formaldehyde present in any vaccine is 0.02 milligrams per dose. An average 2-month-old baby would have around 1.1 milligrams of formaldehyde circulating in their body, with higher naturally occurring amounts for older children. Aluminum. Why is it used? Aluminum is used as an adjuvant in vaccines. That is, it makes them more effective by strengthening the immune system response. Thanks to adjuvants, people need fewer doses of vaccine to build immunity. Health concerns. Sometimes the mention of aluminum in vaccines makes parents uneasy. That's because there has been some evidence that long-term exposure to high amounts of aluminum can contribute to brain and bone disease. However, aluminum is naturally present in water, foods, even breast milk. Aluminum has only been shown to harm people if absorbed in very high amounts and when a person's kidneys aren't working properly. In contrast, the amount of aluminum in vaccines is negligible. Is it safe? Aluminum is the third most common naturally occurring element, after oxygen and silicon. It is found in plants, soil, air, and water. A breastfed infant will naturally ingest around 7 milligrams of aluminum in her diet throughout the first 6 months of her life. In contrast, the standard vaccines administered over the first 6 months of an infant's life contain an average of just 4.4 milligrams of aluminum. Aluminum has been used safely for over 6 decades in vaccines, with no scientific evidence indicating otherwise. Amount in vaccines. The amount of aluminum in vaccines is tiny. In fact, babies always have a small naturally occurring amount of aluminum in their bloodstreams, about 5 nanograms. The quantity of aluminum in a vaccine is so small it doesn't cause any noticeable raise in this base amount found in the blood, even immediately after an injection. Antibiotics. Why are they used? During the production process of some vaccines, antibiotics may be used to counter the risk of dangerous bacterial infection. Health concerns. Concern occasionally arises about antibiotics in vaccines because of the risk of allergic reactions in some children. Is it safe? These fears are greatly exaggerated. Vaccine manufacturers only use antibiotics that are far less likely to provoke a reaction, and because antibiotics are only used during production, they are reduced to trace or undetectable amounts in the final product. In fact, no allergic reaction to a vaccine has ever been traced back to antibiotics. The overall odds a child will suffer from a severe allergic reaction from an MMR or hepatitis B vaccine, from any ingredient, is 1 in 1,000,000, 100 times less than the 1 in 10,000 chance a child will be struck by lightning. Amount in vaccines. During the purification steps of the production process, antibiotics are removed, resulting in minuscule or undetectable amounts in the final vaccine. Gelatin. Why is it used? Gelatin is used as a preservative and stabilizer, keeping vaccines effective under heat or cold and for the duration of the